back at this ream unit to get this defrost board replaced from the other video. Got a dog over here that's gonna bark at me. And of course the neighbors are out in their yard doing something. Somebody else is running a saw, making noise, as usual. There's my dog over there barking in the fence line somewhere. And these people are over here doing their whatever they're doing. So anyway, so I'm gonna get this board replaced. Remember the other video on this one? We had no lights on the board, but we are getting 24 volts to it. So we're going to get it swapped out. So I'm going to disconnect my 24 volts down here so that the board is not powered and the thermostat is turned off right now. So get a little bit of light in here. See what we can come up with. Typically when I replace these, I just do them wire for wire, just so I don't take a chance on wiring it up incorrectly or not having a wiring diagram available, which I do, but sometimes it's just easier to go wire for wire. It is the exact same board, I do believe, so everything should match. And it does have my little standoff connectors already on the board. So I'm just going to take these and pop them right off. Did leave the disconnect out, if I'm not mistaken. Is that in the, yeah, let me just go ahead and pull it out. It was in there upside down off, but better safe than sorry. Yeah, look at, see all that crud on the back of that board right there. How nasty that is back in here. So something's definitely got on the back of it. Oh my gosh, the sun came out. It's about 64 degrees, 62. Cool day. It's about 45 last night. So we're at that time of the year where we get the cool nights and then the warmer days. It was kind of mild during the day. Winters never really get that bad around here. We get a little snow once in a while here in North Carolina, central North Carolina. But it's hit and miss. It's never as busy as it is during the summer, which I'm fine with that because I'm not a big fan of the cold weather. Not really a big fan of the hot weather anymore either, to tell you the truth. Let's get this in there. Get it mounted. And start getting our wires swapped out. First thing is going to be the sensors here at the top. One will be my ambient. And one will be for the coil. They're at the very top of this board, right under the, get my fat fingers up there. There we go. Alright. And then we'll just go one at a time. First one's going to be our reversing valve. Which will go right up here at the top. And these two wires are going to be for our low pressure switch. Here and there. And these next two are going to be for our high pressure switch or high pressure cutout. It's HPCO or HPC on the board. However you want to phrase it, low pressure switch, low pressure cutout. And these bottom two are going to be our contactor out and our common out to the contactor. For our Y and our common. And down here on the bottom, we will have our fan relay for our condenser fan motor and defrost cycle. So that's a normally closed relay, then it opens during the defrost cycle. And now all we have left is simply our low voltage wiring from our thermostat. Have our common up here. Our 24 volt hot. And we are going to have what they label as D on this board, but this is going to be your, when it goes in defrost cycle, sends 24 volts back inside, back into the air handler to turn on the auxiliary heating during that mode. And then here we have our blue be our reversing valve. Typically you think about that as being orange and blue being common. In this unit, brown is common and blue is your reversing valve. So all those are connected right there. And there's that board. You can see it's all gummed up with some corrosion and crud on there and on the back. So it is just, it is what it is. Alright, so now when I reconnect R, if we are lucky, these two red lights are going to come on, signifying that we do have a properly operating board. And they are on. And they are flashing. So if you go back and watch the other video, you'll notice we didn't have lights on that board. It wouldn't energize. It would call for why it was dropping the common to the contactor. If I bypass the board, it will come on and run. We just had a faulty control board. And now we're going to go turn the thermostat on and make sure this thing runs. Alright guys, the thermostat is on. Our contactor, as you can see, is engaged right there. So our board is working. Just put the disconnect back in and make sure it runs. And we are running. I've got it on in heat up there. It does the upstairs area here. Kind of a finished ranch house where they finished in a kind of a large attic they had. Made like a large bonus room up there. So I'm gonna let this run a little bit, check the charge, make sure that's doing okay, and then that's gonna be about it. So that's replacing the defrost board in the ream unit. Like I said, I do them wire for wire, whether it's a furnace, whatever it is, just to eliminate. You can dig through the wiring diagram and trace all that out. Just take the old one out, put the new one in, and then just go back wire for wire, especially if it's the match board, obviously. So that's kind of how I do that. Not a difficult task. Once you can troubleshoot it and diagnose it and get it figured out, usually coming back and doing the repair is not all that bad. So anyway, I'm gonna let this thing run in heat for a little bit. Let these pressures stabilize, see where they go. It's about 62 degrees, 63 outside, it's 64 upstairs. And once we get this charge settled in, confirmed, we will be finished. I'm not going to keep you around for all that. Appreciate you watching, like, subscribe, and see you on the next one.